Hey guys, I want to tell you a little trick. It's a force multiplier as far as foods that you buy. Next time you go out to eat, say at a Sonic, or if you buy a pizza especially, because they have this stuff, it's really good in most cases from pizza places. But they offer you the choice of marinara sauce with a lot of things. A lot of people look at that, they buy a pizza and they say, oh, that's just a dipping sauce. No, it's not. Marinara sauce is a pasta sauce. You can use it on spaghetti or rotini or whatever the heck you want. It's very good. Here's a trick. Next time you're up there, they usually give you this stuff for free anyway if you ask for it. The stuff at Sonic is not so good. It has the flavor, but it has little to no texture because it's been pureed to hell. But if you get the stuff from a pizza place that offers it for free, they usually give it to you in like a little styrofoam cup about yay tall, about maybe about that big around. That's a pretty hefty belt of marinara sauce. If you're one person and you just need a little bit of a lunch or something, what you do is you get down some spaghetti. Spaghetti is dirt cheap. You can buy spaghetti anywhere. You can get it for less than $1 for a small pack in some cases. You just get you can get that whole wheat spaghetti. I don't like the durum wheat stuff because it doesn't have a ton of food value, but you get that whole wheat spaghetti. It's a much broader spectrum as far as the nutrients you get. But you take you a little handful, just enough for one person. And if you got a little pot, this is what I did. I have a little 3-pint pot. That's a 1.5-quart saucepan. You just fill it 2/3 full with water. Get you a handful of that, maybe a bundle about yay big around, and break it into 3 sections and put it in that little pot after the water reaches a boil. And then boil it for however long, depending on the texture of the stuff, how you like it cooked. I like mine a little on the al dente side. But, cook your spaghetti up. Dump off your water, and then take that thing of marinara sauce that you got from the pizza place. Pop the lid off of it and dump it in there and stir it up real good. And that's some darn good spaghetti, man. Marinara sauce has a lot of flavor in it if it's a good brand. And some of those pizza places, they use the good stuff. I mean, you can see all the chunks of the stuff in there that's been chopped up and mixed. Real stuff, not that pureed, liquefied stuff like Sonic does. The stuff at Sonic works. It has a sharper flavor but no texture. But if you use the stuff like you get from a pizza place, that's good. You just throw you a little Parmesan cheese in there on that. You've just got a meal for a fraction of what it would have cost you to go out and buy a bottle of marinara sauce. You just got, a thing that big. That's big enough for one hefty serving of spaghetti. You could make a bigger serving, depending if you like your portions big. There's enough there that it's going to saturate that spaghetti, and it's good. It's real good. And you saved yourself a little money. You made one meal at the pizza place stretch and make 2 meals. And it isn't leftovers. You actually use fresh ingredients. Think about how fresh that stuff is that they use at some of those pizza places. Or you can get the little Sonic dipping marinara sauces, put them in your fridge. Those things keep forever. You can use that as an emergency meal if you don't have anything floating around real quick, but you got a little spaghetti in a box somewhere, but nothing to put on it. Just yank that marinara out, throw it in there, swill it around in there with that, and there you go, Yeah, it's a hobo way to eat, it's a poor guy's way to eat. And I've been poor and I still am poor. And when you are poor, you learn these things. Somebody else would have walked along, said, oh, that's just dip. I can't believe you're going to do that. That's not dip. That's sauce, dude. That's not only sauce. That sauce is probably fresher than you could buy at the supermarket, So use that stuff. Don't just throw it out. I mean, if you don't use it for dip, sometimes they just give it to you by default. Just stick it in your fridge. you can keep that for a few days. You know, the stuff that they put in the cups, the stuff that Sonic gives you, you can keep for a long time. But it's always there and it's ready to go. I just made a meal out of that. I just made a big pot full, well, not a big pot full, but that little 3-pinter. I had, let's just say I had a good lunch. And that was all it took. I just took that whole wheat spaghetti, broke it up in there, and, cooked it up. And I actually asked the lady at the pizza parlor yesterday for extra marinara sauce. And they gave it to me. They give you that stuff. Some places have kind of got hip to it, so they've started charging for it, but a lot of places just give it to you gratis. It's part of your meal. And so there you go. You've just force multiplied your meal. You just took one meal and made 2 good meals out of it, or more. Because each one of those little cups will make, like I said, it'll make one big serving for one person. So that's what I did. I cooked up that spaghetti and I put that marinara sauce in there, and then I got some Parmesan out of the ice box, threw that on there and stirred it up real good. And this place down here, they have good marinara sauce. I mean, it has the pieces of the herbs in it and stuff. So it's awesome. It's very good, and it works, and it's filling. You're not hungry after you eat that. But any other person had come along, and after they got done with everything, they might have those extra things. They just throw it in the trash. Don't throw that away. That's good food, man. If you don't open it and you don't use it, put it in that fridge. You got at least 3 or 4 days on that you have time to use that. If your fridge is good and cold, you have about 3 or 4 days on that, and use that. That's a college student's way to get by, man. When I was in college, I was doing crazy stuff like that. You don't have a lot of money to blow on this, and that, and the other. At least we didn't. Our mommies didn't give us credit cards to go and blow on crap. We we had to make that money and use that money. Use it wisely, because you had to make do, and that was a trick. Now, my friend had a disgusting habit, and I'll never do this, is he would rebrew coffee, man. He'd make coffee. The first pot was a fresh pot of coffee. This is disgusting. If you've ever had this, you know what I'm talking about. So he would make that first pot of coffee, and drink that pot. He'd fill the pot up with water, and he would brew again through the grounds. That second brew is the nastiest thing you'll ever drink, man. Just disgusting. It tastes more like paper than coffee. It was pretty awful. Pretty awful. But yeah, to this day, he still does that. And I have an aunt that does that. I can't stand that. I can't stand that. But this is just a little trick I thought of. I'm thinking about just writing a book on these little tricks that can get you by, that most people don't think about, that can save you a ton of money and keep you fed in bad times. Because there's all sorts of little tricks like that you can do, For instance, did you know, they also give you these little cups about yay tall. Now, these are sealed, so they're good. They're preserved until you're ready to use them. But like our pizza place down here gives us these cups of garlic butter. It's real butter and real garlic. It's just preserved in there. And most people will throw those in the garbage. They never open them. They just throw them away. Put that in your fridge. Next time you make toast, get you some good thick sliced bread. And if you have a toaster oven, get you some good thick sliced bread. And take that stuff and spread it nice and neat. Get you about 4 slices and spread that. One of those things will do, it'll do 2 to 3 slices. It'll do 2 slices really good. Get you a couple slices and then just coat it with that. Take a knife or a spoon and just spread it around while it's cold. And put it in that toaster oven and set it about medium dark and let her go. Your kitchen's going to smell so good. And if you like garlic bread, buddy, you just made that. That's what you just made, basically, impromptu. You just made some garlic bread. You could throw you a little, I don't know, you could put some herb or something on it, something, maybe a little oregano or something sprinkled on there, but you've essentially made quick garlic bread. So don't throw that stuff away. Save it, man. You know, unless you just got too much pride, but you can swallow your pride when you're alone and it's just just you and you're hungry and there's nothing floating around in the kitchen, but you got that stuff laying there. You can fix you up a little meal. Take that garlic butter and that toast, and then take that marinara sauce and some spaghetti if you've got some, and you've got yourself something. You've got spaghetti and garlic bread right there in front of you, ready to go. And you didn't spend hardly anything to do it. I mean, you probably, what is a loaf of bread? A cheap loaf of bread is what, $1 something? It's even less than $1 in some places. And spaghetti is dirt cheap, you know. It's dirt cheap pasta. Just get you some regular old spaghetti. That marinara is also good on rotini, and it's good on fettuccine. Or if you like it. That's my stomach growling in the background, by the way. I just ate. It's not growling, but it's like, all right, I've got food in me. I'm going to work. You know, there's all sorts of little things you can do like that. I mean, if you've ever been in a college dorm, if you've ever had to live in a dorm, or you have ever had to board somewhere and you didn't have a lot of money, then you know a lot of these tricks. Actually, down in the comments, put something down in there. What are some tricks you've done when you didn't have a lot to eat, but you had a few odds and ends and you had to piece something together fast for little or nothing? I'm finding good things. Like this is one of the better things you can do, and it makes a pretty good meal. But if you've done something similar to that, share it with everybody, man. Pop it on. Let's see.